First of all, the new PS5. The PS5 Pro Slim Model Pro. We're going to get straight into it. So we're going to talk about, well, we're going to watch this video here because there's a teardown of the console. I refrained from looking at it. I wanted to wait to see it with you guys.
So I got the new PS5 Slim in. It's not officially called PS5 Slim, but it's the reduced weight, smaller, new generation of the PlayStation 5.
I'm excited to see
this. And I've had this for a few days. I have mixed feelings about it. When I pulled it out of the box, like right off the rip, the first thing I noticed was how much lighter it was. I've seen photos and leaks of this thing, but the weight difference was very substantial compared to the PS5 that I was originally using.
I like my PlayStation. I don't think it's too big, but depends. You guys might be a bit different. So that is the size difference. So quite a bit of a difference.
Now, aside from its weight and size, the other very obvious difference.
You let me know if
this
is
if
the audio is all good.
Kind of line that cuts right through the panel. So it's a quad panel system. The original PlayStation 5.
Oh, they've got it here.
On each side.
So you know what? It's mad that if you bought faceplates like me, I've got a black, white, red, and I've got a D brand one coming. 4 faceplates.
It's a single piece, right? So this is one panel, and then this is a separate panel. But on this, there's 4 of them. There's one on top.
I still like the original one
on each side. And I think they derived this aesthetic from the controller. Like, if you take a look at the controller real quick, this has a very obvious kind of, split panel aesthetic. Right?
It's the same controller,
separated, right? And I think that's the same kind of look they're going for here, where the different white panels are separated with this black gap in between.
Interested to know, if anyone who hasn't got a PS5, would you rather get the newer version or would you just prefer the original one, the better one? Yeah, you know what, Chiron, that damn stand, that looks like a paperclip.
Just slim versions of the PlayStation.
Let's see.
I've always been aesthetically drawn to them. Like, even though I've owned every single original PlayStation, I always buy the slim variants because they just look cooler and they're just cleaner. This time around, I don't know. There's something about this that just doesn't appeal to me as much. And obviously, this is very subjective. But I don't like the fact that it's like a two-toned...
I know if you guys watch Spawnwave, he always goes on how much he hates it. It's definitely overpriced, J67.
Is this glossy finish?
Yeah, why is it glossy? It looks weird.
Matte finish, which is actually a little bit different from the matte finish of the previous version. But I don't know. It just looks a little bit cheaper to me. I don't love the look as much as I thought it would.
It looks cheaper, 100%. So I'm
going to pop these panels off real quick just to show you what's going on here.
So literally like that.
Come off quite easily.
Hey, fair enough, tie inside. Fair enough.
Honestly, they're hard, but
it's so small.
A little bit more work involved compared to the top panels. Okay, so the first thing you'll notice actually when you remove this,
it's so small.
This disk drive. It is a removable disk drive, and it's
okay. This is going to be interesting.
Toolless removal, so
you don't need tools.
There's a little arrow there, but there's an arrow, and it just lifts up and it hinges off. So it lifts up, and it comes right off. It's super fast to remove.
Literally, that's it. That's it, guys. All digital future.
Super fast to remove. So the way that the disk drive connects to the motherboard, there's a connector here on the back of the disk drive that just
it is quite cool.
That socket on that motherboard.
Detachable disk drives. What is going on?
Hinge it on the left side, and
I'm glad to hear everyone.
No screws, nothing.
Literally.
And then at the top here, you can see the.
Why would anyone buy the digital version of this newer console? Might as well buy the disc drive because then you could take it off. And then it's more expensive if you wanted to buy a disc drive later. So it really makes no sense that they did 2 versions. Why didn't you just do the one with the disc drive but you just have it detachable? But then they thought we could charge more because if someone down the line wanted it, then it just doesn't make sense.
D-bay. So this unscrews.
That's what I'm saying.
Original PS5, and you have access to the NVMe slot. So this one here,
everyone have a sip of coffee,
is seemingly compatible with anything that would have worked on the original PS5. Now, if you'll notice, the vent styling at the top of the new PS5 is pretty plain. There's no kind of stylized exhaust. Original PS5. This
obviously it is much bigger.
It's very noticeable even when the paneling is all closed up.
They basically got rid of that, didn't they?
It looks really plain to me. So this is kind of like the front view of those vents, and they don't exist.
Smaller. No, it looks more premium.
So
the original.
My take on this is that it just doesn't look as good.
It doesn't.
The removal of those stylized vents can reduce the production costs of this new unit, and that's ultimately the goal.
Nah, I don't like it.
Slim model, but not as nice looking. before I open it up to show you the insides, I want to draw your
But this one just kind of cheapens it.
attention to a couple things. The first is the size of the new PS5 is not actually that much smaller. Like when you compare them side by side, it's like a little bit smaller, but also if you had the D brand plates, like the dark plates, the size difference is even less.
I'm getting D brand plates soon.
Imagine D brand being D brand is going to make some kind of crazy aesthetically pleasing.
Also, they've already got one
for the new PS5 as well.
What? So they've just posted.
D brand
So literally posted. Oh, so they've got a coming soon D-Up plates for the lighter PS5. Mate, they did that quick.
is going to make some kind of crazy aesthetically pleasing shell for the new PS5 as well.
Yeah.
And the other thing, in the box, it doesn't come with the vertical stand. Like
Yep, doesn't come with a vertical stand.
It comes with a horizontal stand, which I think sucks.
Look at. What the hell is even that? Seriously, what is that? Is the horizontal stand?
A pair of these plastic feet that you slot into the side, or I guess
Oh
like
my
the bottom
gosh.
of the PlayStation 5, and when you flip it onto its side, if you can look.
Oh, come on.
It's right. That's the vertical stand. Or sorry, that's the horizontal.
Wow,
stand.
what a great. Even he said it.
This ain't the move.
I like
Now,
this guy.
You don't need.
Let me get my binoculars. Don't worry, Tiger Bite Girl. Oh, I'm late, but I have pizza. Oh, we're just taking a look at every. We're all gonna buy the vertical stand.
To use a vertical stand, I feel like it's fairly sturdy in terms of its wobble prevention. Without the
Has he?
vertical
He hasn't
stand.
got the vertical stand, has
At
he?
least the discless version would be slightly less stable, but I don't think you need the vertical stand if you don't want to spend
Yeah.
that
So
extra.
guys,
I think
you
it's like
don't
30
need
bucks.
paper clips for the stand. He's saying.
And in terms of the ports, it is a little different on the new PS5. The old one had one USB.
It looks like the PS5 from Wish.com.
Now there's two USB-Cs on the front. There's no front-facing USB-A, and then on the back, they both had USB-As on the back, and that still hasn't changed.
I'm so glad I
Just
got
the
this
layout
PS5.
And the positioning of the connections are a little bit different.
As soon as the current PlayStation 5, I believe when they do run out, this will take over. Yeah. Well, there it is, guys. There is the new PlayStation 5. The fact that you have to buy the vertical stand, which looks like a paperclip.